Hello, this is Jimmy, and welcome back to MiniGameMaker. This is week 9 of my weekly update series, and this week I've worked primarily on weaponry, but I've also touched a little bit on the conveyor belts, but I'll get to that in a second. Firstly, let's go ahead and show off these. These are my new powered turrets. They're wall-mounted. You can also mount them on the ceiling or the floor, and they will only shoot at you when you apply a signal to them. So right now they're all off, so as you can see they're not moving or doing anything. But if I were to power these top ones, you'll see they start tracking my movement, and all the other turrets are remaining stationary. So right now they're not doing any damage to me, and that's because I'm in the editor. If I were to switch to the test mode, they'd probably be killing me right now. So let's go ahead and show off the wall mounted, pretty much the same, and on the floor. So let's go ahead and switch to test mode, and this time, when I turn it on, you can see it actually plays a sound effect when it's shooting at me in test mode, and if I were to walk in there, it can kill me pretty quickly if I'm not careful. So let's go ahead and walk in here and try to turn it off before it kills me. And that's pretty much it for these wall-mounted powered turrets. If I were to come in here, I'll show off this new turret that I've added. So this is actually the same turret that I had before, but significantly better. So I don't know if you guys remember the old turret. It was this red, ugly blob with a black stick sticking out of it. It now actually looks like a turret, so that's good. When it doesn't see me, it's playing an idle animation of panning back and forth. And the way this thing works is it will only shoot at me once it gets a line of sight on me. So if I were to lift this thing up right now, because it's not directly looking at me, it's not going to shoot at me. But as soon as I walk into its line of sight, it'll lock onto me and start shooting at me. And once again, it'll kill me pretty quick. So, like the power turrets, it will not shoot at me when I'm in the editor, but it will track me until I cut off its line of sight, at which point it'll return back to its panning animation. And there's a couple other features to this thing that I'd want to show off, but first I'm going to go ahead and show off this gun. So I've changed the gun a little bit. Right now, it will not shoot unless you have ammo inside of it. So it can hold 6 rounds, and you can shoot these rounds as fast as you want. And it will store how many bullets are in it when it's on the ground. I'm probably going to actually build off of the gun so you can physically see how many shots are in it. But for now, this works. And if I were to grab this, this is like an infinite ammo pack. So now I will never run out of ammo. But the downside is I can only shoot twice a second. So that's how that works. Now let's go ahead and show off the other features I have on these turrets. So as you can see, they're all tracking me. That's nothing new. But there's a couple things you can do with it. If you were to get close enough to one of these turrets, you can actually grab the gun off the top of it. As you can see, it comes default with the infinite ammo pack, and this thing shoots out sparks. There's also a couple other ways you can knock the turret off the top of it. So if I were to shoot it 3 times, it only shot twice for some reason, but if I were to shoot it 3 times, you'll see it knocks the gun off. And it will also break the gun if I hit it with an object. I missed. I can't believe I missed. So if I throw a ball at it, I'm terrible at this. If I throw a ball at it, as you can see, it knocks the top off. And all of these can be picked up and used. So that's pretty neat. Pretty neat features. Yeah, it's physics-based, so I can knock these things around. Now let's go ahead and show off the changes I've made to the conveyor belt. So the conveyor belt, now you can see the angled conveyor belt, inclined conveyor belt looks a little bit better than it did before. But the big modification I made to it is I've made it based off of these 5x5 blocks. So it makes it a lot easier to build with. So as you can see, it works the same exact way. If I were to place that object on there, it'll be dragged along, and it will go up the incline. It might have a little bit of trouble getting past that angle, but it makes it. But if I were to try to build with it, as you can see, these line up perfectly. And if I want to add something higher up at a higher elevation, I can just go ahead and stack these 5x5 blocks, and then everything lines up perfect. I can put this here or that, and it all works just fine. So that was the change to that. I just changed the size of them and made sure everything was functioning properly. So that's it for the changes I've made this week and the new features that I've added in. I hope you guys are enjoying the progress that I'm making, and if you are, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe, and follow me on Twitter at MiniGameMaker to see the updates I post almost daily. And goodbye.